Why does knowing that number help you? So the number average we get one for. Yeah, for sure. It's something to tell clients when you go on your listing appointments. Robbing that number, well, Mr. Seller, as you, I don't know if you're aware of this, average sale price in Cincinnati is about 305. Just want you to let you know that in the office where I work, our average sale price is 365. That's massive. That is your second highest average sale price since the door was open here.
What was the first?
Anyone have a guess as to when that first was? The first was 429,758.
How much?
429,758. We must move some big properties that month. That was April 21.
Yes.
April 21. So in market where your co-brokers are saying there's no business out there, I'm not making any money. You guys are selling at 365 average sale price. What about, I think we have talked about your yeah, you guys are at it. Last month we were 2.9. This month we're at last month 2.8. May was 2.9. So you guys are so well done, friends. Your contract's written volume, double checking, is the absolute highest. You guys are ready for this. Hey! Getting with excitement. You guys, stop celebrating. I'm excited for you. All right, let's jump in. Happy Tuesday, friends. Look at all these birthdays. Happy birthday to our July birthday babies. You see any of these wonderful humans? Make sure you say happy birthday. Today's the 15th? Yep. So we don't have anybody today. Brandy's coming up, and Christy's coming up, and Paul's coming up.
Gary, that guy.
Hey, we know that guy.
I know him personally.
Speaking of knowing him personally, somebody just hung out with him.
So oh my gosh, I should have brought my Gary notes.
Oh, yeah. Your Gary notes for sure.
I'm supposed to share.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him on speaker.
Do you want me to just share one thing?
Yes, please. Share us.
2 things. 3.
All team meeting. Let's go.
Yeah, well for this. But I have a lot of good data. Chris and I are gonna just blow your brains with data also today. So I got the opportunity to meet and interview with Gary 3 days last week. And the first day was 10 operating principles, so multiple market center franchise owners. And Gary started with the first thing, what is your brand promise for your brokerage? And specifically, what is the brand promise such that anybody that joins your company can get X result? So we say it, we know it, we live it, and it works. And everybody just sat there. Do you want to guess where my brain went?
Went straight into I have no idea.
What do you think I believe my brand promise is?
Changing lives.
Yeah, but what is the thing that this company should be doing really, really well?
Creating cappers.
And
oh my gosh, go.
Okay. We're getting close. Yeah. Gary goes, well, I can tell you what Keller Williams' brand promise is. And I was like, yes. He goes, we create millionaire real estate agents. So I'm like, well, yeah, the MREA. And he told the whole story of how when Keller Williams started, they only attracted new agents, brand new agents, because we have the best coaching and training. So all the new agents came to Keller Williams. And Gary and his team were like, how do we create a brand promise to attract top producers? And they wrote the MREA, which, by the way, he shared again. They've tried to rewrite that book multiple times, and they can't because why?
It works.
It still works. Like they're gonna go in and they're gonna like take facts out and put text in or something like that. book works. And so he said they wrote the book, it hit the market, and he said, here's what's interesting. What do you guys think? Did they attract top producers or not?
Yes. No.
Not in the beginning.
They didn't.
They did not. in
They
the
did
beginning.
not. What we did, they still didn't get the millionaire agents over. But what they did is they started building them
Yeah.
from within. So all those new agents coming and all those middle agents that were selling 3 or 4 deals a year, most of our top people started here as brand new licensees.
Right.
So I was very excited.
Heck, yeah, because we're
because
seeing that happen here.
we see that happen here and we know that's the path. And when we deviate from our brand promise, people struggle. And when we get back in the brand promise, they build really amazing businesses. So, I was happy.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to do it better than like we create millionaires, right?
Love it.
So, yeah, that was the big thing.
One more.
One more. Gosh, I should have brought my iPad in here. I think it's, I did 2 days of Gary with coaching on the coaching side. And he talked about MAPS. Anybody in MAPS coaching? Has anybody ever been in MAPS coaching? So MAPS has gotten a little entrepreneurial and they're going back to the models as well and really structuring it. But he said it's always really simple. You care about the person. What are your goals? Like, what do you want? Why does that matter? Where are you at? And if there's a gap, we got to figure out, are you willing to do the work to get there?
Right.
And then how can I help hold you accountable? But you guys can do this for each other. But when Gary says that, it's just like profound, but it's probably something Kristen asks you every day. Like, what are your goals? Where are you at? Okay, are you willing to do the work? Text me when you've done it. Like, that's
Yeah.
the model for accountability. So Gary kept it really simple, like he always does. And it was actually extremely profound in this season.
How many people were there at the ranch?
Oh yeah, we got to go to the ranch. We did go to the ranch. I got in trouble at the ranch because I talked to somebody the whole time and I didn't play putt-putt. So there were probably 250 coaches. Gary has a ranch where they invite people out. We had dinner and they had putt-putt, and for some of us, socializing and world domination conversation, but for others, they went to the swing set and I don't know. It was great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you'd been at the ranch?
Most everybody there, like I hadn't really met anybody that had been.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty cool experience.
I was excited that the 2 women that I'm most connected with were both there. That just was pretty awesome.
Something really cool about the ranch is it's 2,200 acres and it's 2,500 acres, but it was 22 separate parcels that they bought to get the
Wow.
ranch. And on one side of him is Tito, the Tito,
Oh,
the Tito
hey.
family.
Yeah.
And on the other side is the Yeti family.
Oh, nuh-uh.
And so he told a lot of stories about the Yeti brothers. He's like, they are straight up backwoods boys that spent all of their time in a river fishing.
Yeah.
And at one point they needed somewhere to keep their drinks and they had a boat, but there was like a boat hole and the Yeti cooler is made out of the same material that is in the boat hole. I don't know if you guys some of you guys might know this. That's why it's so heavy. They literally took boat hole material to create those Yeti coolers. And he told a lot of stories about things. And here's one more interesting thing. Gary's wife has Alzheimer's. Did you guys know that?
No.
They diagnosed her a year ago. And if you get to be at Austin at KWRI for a training, there's like Gary stand-ups with his wife and she has on a t-shirt that says something. So he shared about her Alzheimer's. So Gary's real logical. He's like, we can't control it. But what I can tell you is I make my wife get up every single day and do mental exercises. And he's explaining it, he's drawing it. He studied all the things that will slow down Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And so for a year and a half, she has to get up. She has to do all these exercises And he said she hates him. She's like, Gary, I hate this. He says, I know, but this is what we have to do to be together. And she goes, well, how do you know if it's working? And he said, because you've not changed in 18 months. Like you've not gotten any worse. Like
Wow.
it's not changed. But it's pretty serious. Like he lost her between Thursday and Friday. She was driving around Austin and called him and said, I don't know where I'm at. And he's like, tell me what you see. And he found out that she had taken 2 wrong left turns. She'd been driving around shopping all day, but she got in downtown Austin. She took a wrong left turn, started having anxiety, took another wrong, and then just had no idea where she was at. So he's out now in the car, driving around trying to find her. And he's like, okay, tell me where you're at. What street are you on? And he's driving. He said, you guys, the reality is at some point I actually passed her and didn't see her. Like we're trying to find each other. So he said, eventually I just pulled over and I pulled left. I went down in this place and I parked. And he said, and I'm on the phone with my wife and I say, listen, I'm going to pull over. We need to stop driving around each other. I'm going to pull over. Here's what I want you to do. The next time you can pull over, I want you to pull over and just park. And he's talking to her.
No.
She pulls over and parks next to him, and she's like, and he goes, and that's kind of how life works, right? Like we can try to force the things, but when we kind of just let go of control, the things happen that because Gary always tells stories. So he talked about his wife. He talked a ton about honesty and just the journey to self-actualization and like how each of us is on that journey and just the awareness of all of that was pretty cool. And he's in that, like probably that.
He's in season.
He's in that season. And actually in the first session, somebody said, Gary, what's your plan? You're like in your 60s. So who's taking over Keller Williams essentially if something happens to you? And he goes, I'm really young. Like, what do you mean? I am the plan. Like I'm here. I've been
right.
He goes, you know, all of my friends have retired and I do this because I love what I do. So I just thought it was interesting. Like he's definitely getting older, but he is like, I'm good.
Yeah.
He'll probably go until he doesn't. He has a plan. He has a legacy plan in place. When they asked and he answered, everybody was still like, "No, you didn't answer the question." Like you're all here, like, but you know, it was just good.
They were waiting for that follow-up question. Yeah, but what if you get hit by a bus?
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's get hit by a bus.
I know. Well, don't anybody get hit by a bus, please.
That went down.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, very good. I don't know why we started talking about her getting hit by a bus. Thanks, Chad. Let's get into bucket fills. How about that? Thankful that we got hit by a bus today. And you guys are here. What else we got?
You know what? I'm going to have to put a shout out to Tara because I don't think that we recognize what kind of an influence she has. Keller Williams. She's been with Gary for 3 days. I've worked with a lot of team leaders, some of the best in the industry at Keller. They don't do that. Tara gets to go. And it's because they recognize something in her that nobody else has. And we, as this company, are so blessed.
Yeah, I love that.
Thanks for being people that I want to be with.
Makes a difference.
It does.
Makes a huge difference.
And we
Makes
just
up for
I like it. Whatever it is.
I had some difficult for the weekend. She picked up the phone first try.
Susan is on it.
She is on it.
I also want to add to Susan's bucket.
Let me just turn it up.
Transaction from hell, and since Nick's in here, I can say that Nick helped in this transaction as well, and some other people, and just a
Solar
car
panel?
ride. Yeah, the solar panel. right there. We are closing today, so.
Yay. Yeah.
It's, I'm just gonna say, if you have clients that are listing or buying solar panels, the number one question that you need to ask your client is, if you're on the listing side, is have they been paid off? And where is the contract that you signed? And that's it. If they can't provide any of that, do not list the house, because it's an absolute nightmare for everybody involved. And I knew nothing about solar panels until this, but now I feel like I didn't.
Teach a
I'm
class.
not teaching you class.
No, but seriously, that comes up more, that's the first time here, but I've dealt with it personally, so just be really careful.
Mhm.
Watch the roof. If you see a solar panel, run, don't walk, and go find somebody who knows what the heck's going on with it. Yeah.
But I think if we would have both done our due diligence at the beginning, I don't think it would have turned into such a nightmare.
No, but it's
I
all
didn't know what I didn't know until I spoke. with
Exactly.
him
You don't know
about
till
it.
you know.
And I don't know if the other agent had sold them or not, or had whatever, so I can't speak for them, but, yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it was a $35,000 mistake on our.
Oof.
So,
But it was clearly marketed that it came with.
Right.
Without going into full detail.
Yeah,
about
they
it,
didn't-
If someone has questions about it, I'll answer questions.
Right.
Out of here, or whatever, but it can cost your client if you're on the listing side, if you tell them that they're gonna make this on a transaction and then find out that they're reduced by $35,000 for no reason other than you didn't ask the right question.
Yeah, on either side, you see a house that has solar panels, get some answers. Do some digging, for sure. And this is all following the fact that Chad and Brian both did a bucket fill for Susan, our broker. So thank you, Susan, for being an amazing broker. Oh, yay.
Yeah, Michelle Nelson first closing yesterday.
Let's go. Yeah, that's huge. That's the way you do it. Nice. Well done, Michelle. One more.
I'll do, Nick answered my call. We had a question about, easements, the shared driveway, that I didn't know how to answer. So I called him, I told the client, I would call him to get a better answer. And I gave it to him, he very appreciated it. So thank you.
Love it. It's awesome that we have a legal eagle at our disposal to help us with those things. So thank you, Nick. We appreciate that. All right, moving on. Speaking of legal eagle, hey!
That was the segue I had.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dude, I've been calling you legal eagle since I was PC. This is years in the making.
Exactly. And speaking of the issue that we had with the solar panels, that was the weirdest contract solar panel thing I've ever seen. They sent me a solar panel contract. I read that. I'm like, what is this thing? It was the weirdest damn thing. The solar panel company got these people to sign a contract that says, you're allowing us to install our solar panels that we keep on your house, and then you just agree to buy the electric from us. So we're gonna put an electric generator that we keep on your house. It's gonna be coming a fixture to your house, but we still own it. You own nothing. All you do is agree to pay this monthly fee to us.
But there's a lien on your house.
But there is a lien because they filed a UCC, even though you don't know what the hell you got. It was the weirdest contract. And at the end, it had buyout prices. So it was pretty clear what they wanted if you wanted to sell the house. It said, but the seller didn't want it. They just got these things 3 months before the close.
That was wrong. It was May of 24.
Okay.
The contract was 24.
The contract was a year before, but they didn't get it installed for a long time.
But the thing is, if they come take them off, they damage the roof.
Right.
What would have been
So it's not like just
$35,000,
come pick
right.
up your thing, it's like, we need to
$35,000 roof repair.
Right.
That's what we were going back.
That's number one, but number two, you had a contract that said, in the listing, it said, you've got solar panels included. You know, so the whole thing was very, very strange. Like you said, do the due diligence ahead of time.
I do, so Mark said the only thing that I could have done better, like with the contract, was wrote this includes the solar panels, because it wasn't excluded on the MLS, but it wasn't included on the, on the contract.
then how do you determine what's a fixture? Because that's
Right,
attached.
it's attached.
I mean, that's
It's 100%,
attached.
100% it's attached.
Yeah.
I don't know that
The
I would have written
argument
it.
was not whether or not they were attached. The problem was that the sellers didn't understand that they were signing the contract and it was a lien on the house. They felt like they were betrayed, which when I told her and her attorney while I was on the phone getting asked about both of them, I told the attorney, I'm like, well, if you're so good at this contract, then why don't you sue the solar panel company and get their money back? But you're paying the solar panels off. Like, I don't know why we're talking about it. But it just cost our clients an extra $2,500 in attorney fees, I'm sure. I mean, we haven't gotten to it. Sure, that's what it's gonna be. I mean, it took them 17 emails and, I don't know, 3 days to write one 12-page addendum. Red line one out and red line the other one out. It's kind of, it's just.
Oh, we're closing today.
Right. And the other important part about that is, what, like he said, if you have written in the contract, this includes, if you see an MLS thing that says it includes this, and this, but your contract doesn't mimic that, make the contract mimic it. Okay? Because it doesn't necessarily, because it's in the MLS, mean it's actually part of the closing, even though that seems fraudulent, if not. Yeah.
A similar reference. So like, what if you accidentally enter MLS call, like it's a gas bar replacement, it turns out it's actually that something that makes it come back to
Right.
say this person that
I don't think it's possible if you've inspected the property. It's gonna be pretty obvious.
Oh.
It's kind of, I think, like hard fast.
I think if it's clearly visible and it's clearly a mistake, okay, you're concluded as a buyer, when it comes to finalizing that contract.
Well, and the MLS says deemed, but not guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, all information.
So, it's deemed to be correct,
Right.
it's not
People make
guaranteed, so.
Yeah.
And they did find it on a defect, I think they bring it up, this on the defect the first time. That's
He's trying
right.
to use it as leverage, like,
Oh, that doesn't play out very well, does
yeah,
it?
no, he clicked fire at first.
We let it out.
That was that termination that
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so the other couple things I want to bring up, does anybody have any questions off the bat? Okay, so the other couple things I want to bring up was, when it comes to a buyer or seller having a spouse, and where is that spouse, and are they gonna cooperate? The question is, who is getting that information? Okay, is it your responsibility? Is it our responsibility? Is it buyer side, the lender's responsibility? And the answer is yes. It is everybody's responsibility. The earlier we find out about the spouses, the better. We've just had, it just continues where we get to a closing and nobody knows that this person is married and where is the other person?
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they're out of country, they're so-and-so, etc. This has nothing to do with her. It just continues to come up. This has nothing to do with the spouse. Yeah.
did that. I mean, a lot of times it's not the plan. A lot of contract who's required to sign closing, and I see it the plan all the time.
Yeah, and unfortunately, years ago, before the contract even had a spot for the spouse, people would say, hey, I've got a single guy selling, do I need the spouse to sign the contract? And the answer technically was no, they're not an owner, but I always said yes, because even though it's technically not required, we need to make sure this person knows they have to be involved and that they're cooperating. Because you go to list the property and this person's spouse isn't cooperating, what the hell are you gonna do at the closing? So the earlier you can find out that they are cooperating, the better.
All right, now, you can buy without a spouse, right?
You can buy without a spouse if you're paying cash. If you're getting a loan, you cannot buy without a spouse. So that statement, 1 to buy and 2 to sell, is only partly true. It's also very, very false. If you're getting a loan, and that's very misleading. So it is two to sell, as long as there's a loan. And most doesn't have a loan, so just say 2 to buy, 2 to sell.
Even if the spouse isn't on the loan,
Correct.
she has to sign for dower.
Correct.
Huh.
Yes,
What if it's in an LLC?
that's different. LLCs don't have dower, therefore, you don't have that, and trusts don't have a dower. So if I got a buyer getting a loan, and we find out their spouse is out of the country, their spouse is not available, or their spouse absolutely will not sign. We ask them to ask the lender if they'll allow you to close in trust. If they will, we'll do a trust. It does cost more money. We'll do a trust, have them close it in trust. And that way, you don't need their spouse to have it closed. Some lenders will not let you close in trust, many will. The other thing I want to bring up, we've had issues of wholesalers come up regularly. We just had another wholesaler question come up, and this one ended up having a little bit of a different twist. Still has a little bit of a different twist, but really the question is, let's say you represent the buyer, and there's a wholesaler involved. Okay. Somebody asked me, will I close a wholesaler deal? And my answer is, on the title side, I have to see the original contract with the seller, the owner of the property. That contract, if that contract is a sham, then I can't close the second part of it, where they assign it on. If you have a buyer that he was gonna buy this house, he's got a contract, he's fully obligated, it's one of your normal contracts, normal earnest, normal inspection time, it's a short inspection time. You can't just get out of the contract for any reason whatsoever. After inspections and after the contingency is done, it's a normal contract. If you've got a normal contract and then that guy gets transferred or has some kind of life event because I can't buy it, I'm just gonna assign my interest to somebody else. That's no problem. Stuff happens, you've got a normal contract, you assign it, I can close it. But if the first contract says, we're supposed to close, we're supposed to close in 27 days, the inspection period is 30 days. And we can get out of the contract for any reason whatsoever if we don't like the inspection. I go, well, that's not a contract. You don't have any obligation to buy. The contracts usually go on to say with these wholesalers, by the way, during this period of time, you're authorizing us to list the property. If we find a buyer, we can assign our interest over to that buyer. And you go, why would you put that in the contract? Right? You're not really intending to buy the property. Your intention is to find a different buyer. You basically want to be a realtor in the middle. Right? And if you're a realtor in the middle, what do you have to be if you want to get paid? License. So for a title agent, I'm not going to pay somebody commission, because that's all it is. I'm not going to pay somebody commission if they're not licensed, because I can get in trouble with the commission. Problem for you is, how does that affect your buyer? Buyer really wants this property. Aren't many properties. We found one. This really doesn't affect your buyer. Right? And if the division comes in and starts investigating, they don't care about your buyer. So there's a weird conundrum going on here. I can't close it. Some title agencies will. If the division gets a hold of this contract and they come in investigating, they're going to talk to you. Talk to the title agents, we're going to talk to the listing for sure.
Well, it's not usually listed by an agent, though.
Correct. A lot of
Most of
times,
the time, it's
you're going to
listed by the
absolutely talk
buyer.
to that. You're going to talk to that in between person. And I've seen a couple right
Was this from yesterday?
This is another one from yesterday. So yesterday's is they're now putting a little different twist on it.
This one.
So this just different twist is, I asked, hey, are you licensed? Because you're putting the property in the MLS. You are not even acting like a buyer. You're not assigning the contract. You're representing the owner of the property, putting the property in an MLS. You're finding a buyer with a realtor, one of our realtors. You're finding a buyer with a realtor, and now you want to get paid. Huh. What was the percent?
Oh my God. It started out, was it 5%
Yeah.
to, no, wait, that's bad. 5% to the seller.
Yep.
The seller was actually like Susan Ash. It was listed with an actual company that is a brokerage. But then this third-party company swoops in. They are not a wholesaler. They said they are not a wholesaler. There is not an assignment. They just want to get paid. And they're not even local.
Yeah, we're now a service company.
Yeah,
They call
they're a
themselves a
service
service
company.
company.
And then, but then there was another commission, was it 10%? And they were
Whoa.
giving back 5% to the seller. I'll go look. I can tell you.
Very, very
But it
complicated.
ended up like 12 or
So the sellers were getting screwed.
Oh, yeah.
15%.
Yeah, you're wondering why the seller didn't just go with a regular girl. You're like, what are you doing?
Because it's kind of like the solar panel.
Yeah.
Depends on how good the guy on the other side of the phone is.
Okay. And
Right.
their website is beautiful, it's impeccable, it explains everything to a T,
Okay.
right up front, it's gonna cost about 20%.
So they sent me an email that says, we are not licensed, we are a service company, we are blah, blah, blah. And so I have sent that to division to see if I can close it and pay these people. And I'm waiting for an answer.
We know what that is.
What's that?
We're not gonna be able to pay them.
Yeah.
Can't even pay back the commission.
It's very, very, very weird.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But you know, pay attention to what I'm saying, guys, 'cause we're getting the weirdest looking contracts.
Yeah.
A lot of them are, they look like wholesalers, they have assignments in them, some don't. We just got one the other day and it was so convoluted, I don't know, if the freighter, I don't know, it wasn't one of ours. It wasn't one of our contracts, so if you get anything weird like that, just shoot it over to me, let's talk about it,
Yeah.
don't accept it, please.
The internet is full of those wholesalers.
Yeah.
They're like
It's scary.
Now, just recently I've had a rash of, this is weird, fake buyers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm still not 100% sure. They always concerned me years ago. They used to do this and they stopped doing this, but now they started again. Where they sent me the contract and they said, hey, give us your account information for us to send the earnest money. So they immediately asked about our account information.
Not good.
Oh, it's a bad sign.
And I'm going, man, this is weird. So I tried calling the numbers and neither number, the buyer or the seller, neither number worked.
It's nice.
And then when we went to check it, the property to put the contract in, it was already transferred a couple days ago. I'm going, hey, Mr. Seller, who's on this email, you've already sold this. You transferred it a couple days ago. What are we doing here? And I haven't got a reply back on that.
Shocker.
So, just weird. But we have had some fake, you know how you have a fake seller? They get the cash up. Okay, fake sellers, we've had just a rash of those on empty lots.
Yeah.
They get the cash, they run, they disappear. Well, we've had some fake buyers, strangely enough. You go, why would a fake buyer, they come to the closing,
Mind blown.
their money doesn't show up. They contact the seller, say, can we get in the property? We want to at least see it. And a lot of times, they get to closing saying, my money's coming from my company, my money's coming from somewhere else, it's been delayed, there's some kind of weird problem. And they just want access to the property so that they have a place to live for a couple months free. And they start tearing the place up and trashing the place, but you have to get them out. And when you go to get them out, they've got copies of closing paperwork. That makes it look like they own the property. You're like, this is fraud. How can we not have the police just pull them out? And they're just looking for a free place to live for, sometimes it's up to 5 months, 6 months.
So they get in and they have to be evicted? Yeah. You have to.
And they have to be evicted, and they have paperwork to stop the eviction, delay them.
Hey, we're evicting somebody right now, since we're on evictions. We bought a property sight unseen.
Okay.
And didn't even get to do an appraisal. We ended up having to pay cash so we could get an appraiser in.
Yeah.
And the kid, the guy, I say kid, he's like in his 50s. It was his mom's house. And so he's in the house and he's a junker. So he's carrying in all of this metal and junk every day. So we had our attorney serve a letter.
Yeah.
And we're literally just counting down the days. And I was like, cut those utilities. Like, let's just turn the heat up in there. But, you know, we don't want to damage the property. So he's got some, there's some water and AC on, but it is a process.
That AC
but,
would
you
have
know,
to go.
There are there, like, we have to go through the process because he's lived there for so long, he's got tenant rights, even though there's no fees.
Look, how many people have heard, of these squatters? These squatters get into just, hey,
Yeah.
before a vacation, a squatter moves in, people come back and there's like somebody in the house.
Yeah, that's like Florida. That, a lot of that was going on in Florida where the squatters would know that these people were like
It's moving.
gone for the winter or summer or whatever.
Right.
And they would live in the house for 3 months and then it would take 90
6
days
months
or
to get
6
them out.
months to get them out.
Yeah, valid.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The police would just do it.
I'm getting a lot of red flags, and at what point do you say that this probably, let me just give you an example. So one of our gals came to me the other day, and she put talking to this guy on WhatsApp. WhatsApp's a no-no, they'll
I don't
only
even
talk
go
to
there.
you on WhatsApp.
Don't talk to
WhatsApp,
him.
they're probably not, right? But then now they're talking on the phone. So he wanted her to go to a $2.3 million house. Now, first of all, every buyers randomly choose an agent on that kind of a price point. So she goes and she does a video walkthrough.
Sign me up.
They do a video walkthrough, and I said, you know what? Have you seen him face to face? She had a driver's license. The driver's license matches what everything is for her, but it doesn't. The name on the driver's license and the address do not match the house that it says where he lives. So I said, set up a Zoom with him, at least get him invited on, even if it was because he would not go on a FaceTime walk. So she set up the Zoom, she sat down, she talked for 10 minutes. And up to now, everything seems to be checking out and it still does not smell right. What do you do?
A Zoom, they can be an AI
Oh, yeah.
figure on Zoom.
Right.
And what I learned too is you have to be careful with the Zoom, because sometimes they're going to say. Get access to learn your voice, it's crazy,
But
it's
we're-
like,
At what point do you say, I mean, if you send a driver's license, she's seen it face to face. If he seems to check out, walk through the house with her via FaceTime the other day.
it's kind of like a lifetime to me.
Where do you?
But they have killed the actual owner, and the owner is actually dead.
20 days.
So
I don't.
There's
So the
three
owner is
things,
dead.
there's three things, because we had a fake seller on an empty lot. The fake seller sent driver's license information. We got lucky because we looked at the recorded docs, we knew who did the closing last. They had contact information for their buyer at that time. And so the buyer at that time is now supposedly the seller. So I called the phone number that they had, and the person answered after the third try and confirmed they were the owner of the lot and they were not selling that property.
Right.
Okay, so that was lucky. But there's a couple ways if you're working with a seller, they have a tax mailing address, and if it's free and clear, which most of these are, you send information to that tax mailing address. You overnight something to the tax mailing address and say, hey,
In
look,
this case, it's a buyer. It's a
in
buyer.
this situation, it's the buyer, and I have a fake buyer, which is the one that the property gets sold on, right? So I don't know the real answer, but
I mean,
I don't know how you do it.
but what I've
where do
done,
you stop and say,
what I've done is this. I've said, hey, we want eyes on this person. Okay, I am gonna hire a notary. Because I have something I need you to sign that has to be notarized. I'm gonna hire the notary and send them to you.
Oh, that's smart.
that's the thing.
Tell the notary, take pictures, try to find out what car they're driving, get information on where, get as much information as you can.
And a notary can do that, like,
The notary can do that.
yeah, okay, that's good, that's really great.
Yeah.
Sign me
Yeah,
up.
I'd be willing to pay a notary to do a notary job. It's usually about $120.
That's not.
Right.
Or
But
That's not a bad idea.
if people
Mine doesn't
refuse-
say it. So what about calling the name of the owner on the property where this guy lives? And just say,
Is this you?
Yeah, you can do trade.
If you can get that info.
You can trace his number.
already done that.
No, I'm saying, not
That
the
is-
number, the number for the owner of the house. And get his information.
It's quarter till.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
But it was so much
You gotta
fun.
get creative, and if anybody has any questions, just call myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of good info. Look out for scammers, look out for fake buyers, make sure you know what you're doing when dealing with a wholesaler. And if you see a house with solar panels,
Run.
run. There we go. That was the summary. Thank you, Nick. Oh my gosh, setting a listing appointment. What is this? What happens when you hit this QR code?
This is so good. I'm coming up. We're gonna talk about stats.
I love stats.
And who wants to be our writer? Hey, do you want to write on this board?
I'm bad about it.
Jenna!
We're gonna talk about setting appointments, but we're also gonna talk about, we were gonna do a role play, but we don't have a ton of time, but we might still do one. So, okay, this QR code, have y'all seen this? This is gonna change everything, if you
I
let it.
just saw when you scan the QR code.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You can't trust your brain. You can't trust.
What we're pulling up is this beautiful little packet. Anybody know what this is? How often does this come out?
Once a year.
How often should we study it?
Every day.
On the regular.
How often should we use the data in this?
All the freaking time.
Every conversation. So I want you guys to write this down. I'm going to challenge you on this. I want you to practice using one statistic or data point in every conversation that you have. And we're gonna go through, I'm gonna share the ones I highlighted. And then we'll do a role play.
Okay.
Are you setting the appointment today or am I?
You're setting it.
Okay. So I worked FISBOs and expireds as an agent. How many of you guys do that? It's like taking candy from a baby. It's so fun, it's so easy, and it's untapped. And so has anybody ever called a for sale by owner and expired? But let me ask this first. What time do you guys start calling these guys? How early? Anybody earlier? Yeah, I started we did scripts and role play at like 7:30, stood in a circle, and then I was on the phones about 8:30 every day. This wasn't expired. Anybody ever called one and they said, oh my gosh, 5 other people have called me already today?
Yep.
What do you guys say when they say that?
That's great. They're doing their job.
You guys say, okay, you're back? What do you say, Brian? Really? Like it's literally your energy matters because how you feel it's how much time you have.
Yeah.
I'm like, 10 times my own. So if I was a wrestling persona, like all poking at somebody, that's why I act in the first 10 seconds. It's really once I get there, hard. And then I have to immediately explain, like, hey, they're doing their job. However,
Hey, that was
our job
Superman
is
to me again.
yeah,
Sorry,
you owe
my
it
bad.
to yourself to meet those. That's
Yeah.
that usually makes sense.
I'd probably say, wow, that is so annoying that somebody would call you that early. I'm calling you at a reasonable hour, so let's talk.
So what I always said.
I like
was,
that I don't work, there are a lot of agents in the area I wouldn't want to work with either. Glad you got me on the phone.
So here's the thing, you guys can see, it doesn't really matter what you say, right? It's just their objection and you move on.
Yeah.
I used to say, they would go, gosh, 6 people have already called me. You guys, at 8 a.m., 6 people had already called them. So if you're at 10 or 12, you're behind the eight ball.
Missed it.
You've missed it.
But I think it depends on who it is, because I feel like if somebody called me at 6 or 7, I'm not trying to talk to you. Now, somebody called me at 10, I might be more like, okay, let me hear what you got to
You
say.
had your phone.
It could be, and yet, that's right, it could be, and yet you may be able to get that secondary, like, interview us too. But here's what I would say, they would say, hey, 6 people have already called, and I would go, oh my gosh, that's crazy. It's 8:30, we have 4,500 agents here in Central Kentucky, and you're telling me that only 6 people got up today and are out looking for people to help sell their house? That was literally my script. Whether that works or not, that's what I said, and I said it every time. And they were like, oh, okay. And so then I would say what Brian said, which is, hey, if you're gonna interview, an agent, we just wanna be one of the options.
I'll give another quick little tip. Can't take it all soft, but
Get the
the
sauce.
reality is they're getting more calls from agents than prospective buyers, and it's because they don't know, they don't realize the reason for that is actually perhaps not obviously our settlement. And of those 6 agents that called prior to that took the time to explain why they're getting more calls from agents than actual buyers.
Mhm.
And once that clicks, it's like, hey, that's why you owe it to sell with us. We don't sell you, we get the process. So what time do you want to do?
Beautiful.
So, you gotta know the data. You gotta have some numbers. You gotta know whether it's 4,500 agents aboard and I know for 6 to call. Good for you. You've got 6 great options. I'm gonna read it through this. How many of you guys use this?
I do.
Okay, this comes out, you can get it at the realtor.com website, it's part of your NAR membership. But also it comes out every single year, and there's probably like 150-page version. This is the short version, okay? So print this and highlight, like I just went through this morning and highlighted stats that I would use in a conversation. So as I say these, Jenna, will you just write them down? 88% of home buyers purchase their homes through a real estate agent. That's important, right?
Yeah.
Let's see, 49% of people want help finding the right home to purchase. If you can't keep up, it's okay.
I'm just gonna, you can just put percent.
14% needed help in negotiating a sale. 11% needed help with price negotiation. 7% paperwork. Among sellers, 36% purchased a larger home. 30% purchased the same size home, right? And sellers sold their property typically at, anybody know what percentage?
Ooh, I do.
100% of list price, right? Okay, 90% of sellers sold with the assistance of a real estate agent.
90.
Only 6%, this is important, only 6% of homes were sold for sale by owner, a historical all-time low. When 6%.
Used to be like 12, didn't it?
When I worked for those expires, it was 8. And so I would say, hello, Mr. Seller. This is Tara. I work at XYZ or Keller Williams. I am calling today. I see you have your house on the market. I work with a lot of buyers. Can you tell me a little bit about your property? They would start talking. What are they going to tell me? All the amazing things. And I'm going to start cutting in going, wow, do you guys have, I always ask this question. Do you have a first floor master and do you have hardwood floors? Why did I ask that? I don't know either. I didn't really care, but it was just something that was like kind of a common theme. So they would answer and I would go, wow, based on what you're telling me, if I feel really confident if this home were on the market, it would have sold by now. Have you had any offers? What are they going to tell me? No. Okay. So I'm just curious, we know statistically that 9 out of 10 for sale by owners list with the real estate agent. They typically do it by when? Within 2 to 3 weeks. How do I know this data? Right here. So, Mr. Seller, I'm curious, how long do you plan on trying to sell the house yourself before you choose to list it with an agent? And then they would say what? Right, probably 3 weeks. And then you just cut it in half. They're going to list it in a week and a half. Now, if I say, so I'm curious, why did you decide to sell the home yourself? Whatever the reason is the reason. But this is the stat you also need to know. This is on the back of your packet as well as this stuff. This is the goal. And I use this, and it's actually gotten higher. Mr. Seller, I can appreciate that you're actually doing this to save yourself money, right? But did you know that for sell by owner sold homes typically sell on average for $380,000? And that's actually quite a bit lower than the average home sold with a real estate agent. Do you guys know that number?
I do, because I'm reading it.
What is it?
435.
Okay. Did you know that the average for sale by owner sold home sells for $380,000 and the average price for a home sold with a real estate agent is $435,000? So the difference between the two is what? $55,000? So Mr. Seller, if I could show you a way, so the $55,000 value difference or price difference and you potentially selling it yourself and me helping you. Make sense? So if I could show you a way to actually net you more money in less time with less headache. Would you consider sitting down with me for like 20 minutes to talk about what that could look like? Can you guys tell I've said that script hundreds of times? And the data I always use was out of this. So what do you think the sellers typically said? Yeah.
Yes.
And if they said no, what did I say? I just kept on. Well, that's totally okay. You know, here's the thing. You're looking for a buyer, and I actually work with hundreds of buyers in the market. Would it be okay for me to just come out and preview the home and see if it's a good fit for one of my buyer clients? What are they gonna say now?
Yep.
It doesn't really matter what you ask or they say. You're leading the conversation with a great script framework, right? And once you know it, wherever they go, we can pivot to get to the data.
With data, yeah.
Because when I said 9 out of 10, so right now I would say, wow, Mr. Seller, congratulations, you're brave. What I know to be true is actually less than 6% of homes are sold right now nationally for sell by owner, and that's a historical all-time low, lower than it's ever been. And actually I read this data, like 30% of those or 60% of those are mobile homes. And 30% of those, 30% of the 6% are residential.
So they're way down
So
here.
you're falling into a very, very small group of people that's willing to take that risk on the largest financial investment that they own.
Ooh,
Can
that's
you
a good
see
one.
why it might be valuable for you and I to meet? Because actually what I specialize in is for sell by owner sold homes. And the last listing I took, whatever it is, actually someone I work with just sold one. I would tell Michelle's story. The one I sold last week, I would tell that story, right? So we gotta get stories, huh?
Yeah.
There we go. So, okay, so let's talk about some more stats.
I think it's interesting that it says 38% of all FISBO sellers, the main reason they were selling FISBO is because they sold to a relative or a friend.
Yeah, and actually, you guys,
All the ones that sold, they sold to a relative.
Relative or a friend.
Yeah.
okay, so here's the stats I used to say. The average home for sell by owner was averaged at $180,000. The average agent sold home was $225,000. There's my $50,000 delta. But Mr. Seller, did you know that for sell by owner sellers that sell to a friend or family member average their sales price at $155,000? They used to give us that number.
Wow.
So from 155
That
to
would've been good.
225, I had almost an $80,000 delta to figure out how to pay myself.
That in there on that paperwork that you have for what the percentages that doesn't close.
That's gonna be your homework.
Is it on that?
It is probably, it is in here, but that's gonna be your homework.
Because that's what you said. That's the one that it's like, where you get the article. Say, did you know that even if you went under contract with someone that you know or whatever, that doesn't work?
Okay, here's some more stats. 43% of buyers indicated that their first step was to look for a property on the internet.
43?
43%. How
That is
many,
very
how
low.
many of you guys are actually using your website and mobile app? Because if they're shopping on the internet, but they're not on your site, they're getting contacted from somebody else. Right? That's why you have a website. 21% reached out to a real estate agent as their initial action. Real estate agents played a crucial role with 86% of all buyers using a real estate agent. 5% of buyers purchase their home directly from a builder or builder's agent. 5%. So if I was doing a buyer consultation, I would say, hey, if you're even remotely considering buying a new home, just know that 95% of all buyers that purchase new construction still work with a real estate agent, right? 90% of buyers express satisfaction with their agent's responsiveness, knowledge of the purchase process, honesty, and integrity. 88% of home buyers have used their agent again. Now I have a star here. 61% of home buyers have already recommended their agent.
Wow.
Nice.
61%. So have you guys gotten a recommendation from 60% of your buyers from the last 12 months? Because reality is, statistically, you should be. And like, let's be real, we could be better than these numbers.
Well, if that's a real stat, then technically for 6 months after, we should probably be in contact with them a little bit more often.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to change, we need to tag in the demand as a
That's the first time I read that.
frequent something, because I've not heard that stat before.
61% of buyers in
Yeah,
their first year
that's huge.
re-recommend their agent.
That's
Okay,
massive.
the median number of years a seller owns their home. How long did, what do you guys think? How long does a seller
This is
own their
insane.
property?
7, I thought it was only 7 to 10.
Agents, you have a real estate license. So Katie said 10 years, and she's a winner. It's higher than reported from 2000 to 2008, when the average was 6 years. So if I'm gonna nurture a seller, if I sell somebody a home, if I sell a buyer a property, and I want the opportunity to be the agent they list it with, how long am I gonna have to stay in touch with them? You guys got a good 36 touch? That's because that's 360 touches to get that listing next time, right? Okay.
This is a long game.
It's a long game, you guys. It's a long game. This says for recently sold homes, the final sales price is a median of 100% of the listing price. This continues to be the highest reported median since when? 2002. Woo. Would we maybe want to know that number?
Wow.
The average median sale price is 100% of the list price. 100% of the list price. Highest median since 2002. What side of the deal needs to know that number? Buyer or seller?
Everybody.
Everybody, I would think, yeah.
If I'm working with a buyer, I'm gonna say, hey, you can expect to pay 100% of the list price for the property you wanna buy, because that is the median price, and that's where it's been, and it's actually the highest it's been since 2002, and yet, blah, 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 blah.
That's a big one for buyers.
That's a big one. Set up the expectation.
Those buyers that
And
wanna
also, for negotiations, you gotta be able to tell them, you know, what do they wanna offer? You have to usually go above list price.
I have the historical loan for sale by owners highlighted like 17 times, and I was like, I should just go sell the real estate. Oh my God, like you could totally crush with that statistic. For sell by owner homes, we're more likely to be mobile or manufactured homes at 8%. So if somebody says, I think I'm gonna sell my $400,000 property, you're gonna say, wow. There's actually a very low percentage of people that are willing to do that right now, and most of them are mobile or manufactured homeowners. You've got a beautiful property. Are you sure you're willing to do that? Then I have that median price. 30% of all for sale by owners did not want to pay a commission. Okay, so this is some good stuff. For 38% of the sellers, for sell by owner sellers, the main reason they sold it for sell by owner is they sold it to a friend or to their neighbor. 30% of those did not want to pay a commission. 63%, get ready for this, 63% of for sale by owners did not actively market the property.
Wow.
So what do we know would have happened had they listed it with an agent and marketed it? What do you guys think would have happened to their price?
It would have made more money.
They would have made more money. They would have made more money.
In a faster amount of time with fewer hassles.
That's right. I can't believe, so let me understand this yourself. Just so I'm clear, when someone wants to schedule a showing, do you put a lockbox on your door and you're letting people come in and out of your home unattended, or do you show the property to them? I don't care what they say. My next response is gonna be, do you have a family?
Yep.
How
That was
comfortable
my
are
go-to.
you having people come in and out of your property that you know nothing about? Do you feel like that's safe for your family? Do you guys see? Doesn't really matter what they say. We're gonna talk them to the place that they like. We already know they need a real estate.
Sure.
Are you guys as excited about this as I am?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good data.
I got a $400,000 fiscal person. That's ridiculous.
There you
So
go.
I'm gonna- That's it.
Zip.
So right there. This is the-
Yeah. Scan this. You guys should have this in your listing presentation. As soon as they start downloading any of those hats, you just go, oh my gosh, let's talk about
Does
that.
that usually come out June 1, if I remember correctly?
I think it's beginning of the year.
Beginning of the year, I can't remember. No worries.
I don't know if there's.
David,
Thank you.
That's all I
For
got.
sharing. That's good stuff.
We didn't set an appointment, but I
Okay, I would have hired you. I promise. I would have hired you.
Can I say something else about this?
Yes.
If you go to NAR and you look up stats, it's hard to pull that from, and you're putting together your listing presentation, this tells you everything that buyers and sellers need and want. And as we put our listing presentation together for my team, we started here. And
Yes, you need that.
because it says, what do they want? They want the,
Restart.
find the right house, and it is real quick. Negotiate the terms 1 and 2. Help with the price of negotiations, help with paperwork is 4. So if you go through here and you start to put together what you're offering as a value proposition, it's already good for you.
Well, and it's also in Gary Keller, that's where he goes, because remember that big group of
Mhm.
slides that he had on the thing, well, it's all there too.
Yep, and they'll
Not
have,
all the stats you just gave, but what you're
but
talking about.
his came from those. I mean,
Well,
they
his does
study
come.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you guys are working on your value proposition and what you're gonna market about yourself, market what we already know they want. 80% of buyers want help finding the right home to purchase, help getting the best price, and help with their terms. And those 3 things have been those 3 things for my entire career. So when agents are like, you should hire me because I pick up my phone, what you should say.
And I
is
help you with your paperwork.
You should hire me because I'm gonna help you find the right home to purchase and get you the best price and terms. And then you've got 80% of the buyers exactly what they want.
Love it.
That's the best way to go.
How about some awards?
Let's do that.
Let's go. Holy cow, look at all these people. $1 Million Club Award for June 25. Strong. Well done. Congrats, people. Y'all need to be clapping, snapping. Good stuff to celebrate. Top individual agent closed volume for June. Congrats to these fine humans. Top individual agent closed units for June. Woo, 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 woo. 4, 4, 6, 6, 9. Missy bringing in 9s. All right. She's on this. Interesting. Our 3 IMAO owners. Ding, ding, ding. Top individual agent GCI for June. Congrats. We love seeing that. Top teams closed volume for June 25. Hey, Parsley Subs. Oh, wait. Oh, we just got that fast. Did it work? Top teams closed units for June 25. Cheers, 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 cheers. Top teams GCI, June 25. Let's go. Top group closed volume. Hey. Well done. Top group closed units and GCI. Shabri Group playing song and the producers. Well done. 8 minutes.
How's Lance a group? Because he has a what?
Has an agent on his team and he has an admin.
Oh, okay,
It's 2 agents, 1 agent.
okay.
We're honored to be in business with you for your first closing. Woo! Exciting day. First listing taken, Christine Lamati. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Highest price listing and sale. That would be
Nice.
Tyler and Allison. Let's go. And
Whoa.
if you are here today, we have props for you.
Who's here?
Congratulations on these cappers. If you're not familiar with what that means these folks are getting 100% of their hard-earned commission. Most eager to learn more. Yes, Missy Brady. Missy has just She just dove in to all things KW after coming from a different brokerage, and she is getting educated. She's showing up for leadership academies, ALC leadership academies, opening the IMAO. She's constant growth mode and learning mode, so that's why we got her on here. So congrats to Missy, and then we have the culture award goes to the hot. Give the huddle, my 8 a.m. huddle a shout out, because I tell you what, you guys, it's just the mindset and what we talk about every morning. I just appreciate it. And I know that we do that for each other. So y'all get the culture every morning, 8 a.m. It's on the calendar. So if you go to KW7H.com and pull up the training calendar, there will be a link. So yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Team meeting, new meeting time. How excited are we? Starting in August, no more of this 10 a.m. stuff. You guys need to be really generating anyway. We're going to move to 11 a.m. So Tuesdays 11 to 12, starting in August. I know you guys are excited. We listen. Your foundation series for the month of August. This looks really good. I love it. Nice. Basically, Ignite. So we're bringing Ignite back. So these are the classes that we have coming up. If you are ALC or if you took Train the Presenter, you will be asked to teach a class. July's Fireworks of Growth. We're still here in July. Your market center is bursting all the other market centers. We've got two separate ones. We've got one just for our 4 market centers. Anyone would guess who's winning that one so far? Okay. And then we've got another one that's regional. That's our market center, a market center in Columbus and a market center in Indiana. So they put groups together. So we are in a group of 2 other, and we're winning. So this is exciting. So I love it. It's an opportunity to help others, to grow your profit share, to grow the market center. And like I keep going back to win some money that we can spend on the team, because I want to do that. Yeah, Tara, you want to share on this one?
Yeah, so KW Cares, we've got a associate, I'll just say quick, he got like an infection. So that's Patrick on the left, his wife and his kids. He got an infection that was just kind of like wasn't feeling good. Went into the hospital, he declined really rapidly, and they had to put him on a breathing machine and like life support. I mean, like he was not doing well. And because of the time he was on the machines, it like literally, like he's paralyzed right now. And they've got him off. He's in a rehab facility, but they're saying it could be a year before he can walk again or just have any type of basic function on his own. So he's starting to talk, and yet it's going to be a really long recovery. So we're applying for a KW Cares emergency grant. And there's always a portion that the local markets have to match. But in addition to that, we don't know what they'll award them. And I would imagine his living expenses are somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 a month. So we just are gonna, you guys are probably gonna get a text message today from somebody in the Lexington office asking you to give 5, 10, 20, $100, whatever you feel led to give. And every bit of that money is gonna go to Patrick and his family and any type of matching we need for KW Cares. So we don't get the opportunity to do this very often. Like it's weird, right? Like it's really a hard time, but it's such a cool opportunity for us to make an impact in somebody's life in a real way. So, I would just encourage you to give whatever you can just to be a part of that story. And it will matter a lot to your family.
Of course. I mean, just for just a moment, think about what you've got scheduled today, all the things you're doing. And then you wake up tomorrow and you can't use your arms, you can't use your legs, and you can't speak. Just overnight. What that does for your business, what that does for your family, what that does mentally. So sit in that for just a second. And if that were you on this screen, what would you want us to do? Thank you for sharing that. So if you'd like to donate, there's a QR code. If you missed the QR code, you can come up to anybody in leadership and we will hook you up. If you're going to the pool party, we're gonna donate again at the pool party, right?
Yeah, top 20% at the pool party, it's gonna be a $10 raffle for a bottle of Elijah Craig bourbon. But we're doing a lot of giveaways. I think we're over like $1,000 to $1,500 in top 20% giveaways. So that little opportunity will just be for us to raise funds for that family.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. List of last master the art of the agreement, July 16th, July 23rd. And we're gonna have Chanel Strickland here, July 17th, 11 a.m. That's 11 to 1. Architecture of Wealth. And then Building Wealth Beyond Commissions down in Lexington, July 24th, 9 to 12.
And that last one, you guys, we have recruit tickets. Tickets are very inexpensive, but if you have a guest, Kristen we can get like 50% off for that.
Yep.
For a guest.
And then speaking of the pool party, 20%, top 20%, we've got a pool party coming up. Pool party, August 7th here. So save the date, August 7th, our summer party that we have every year is going to be August 7th. And apparently Kate's going to give us more details as they come. Mega Agent Camp in Texas. I'm trying to fly through because we're already 15 minutes over. NOLI July 30 social media promise will enhance your client engagement. And I have my needs. If you want to do it, go quickly. We've got a class. By the way, speaking of class, we are going to feed you after the class. All the more reasons to stick around.
Hey.
Thank you for your excitement.
Yeah,
I
you guys
appreciate it.
are always
Two
upset.
classes today. I'm teaching 7 steps to 10 listings a month after this class. So we'll take a 5-minute break or something.
Okay.
And then I'm teaching how to host a first-time home buyer seminar, and we're going to give you the Keller Williams toolkit, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
This afternoon. I think that is at 2 o'clock. 2:30. Hold on, I'll tell you guys. That is at
YouTube.
2:30.
And you said on that it was 38% of first time, or no, wait. First time home buyers on average, I can't remember the percent, are 30 years old.
Yeah, and the median age of home buyers, based on the packet, is 56.
Whoa, that's me.
Well, median
I'm
age,
your
right.
client avatar.
It's going up, that's what I mean. It's
Think
going
of
up.
me when you're looking for a client.
So don't think about young people, is what I'm trying to say. It's not-
Yeah,
it has
it's
nothing
not.
to do with-
These are like people probably.
The youngins can't afford it, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, now I know I gotta. look at it.
All right, thanks for being here.
Let's learn.
Take a quick break.
Someone keeps trying to get, is anyone in here to try and get into the but the email is not going through? Anyone in here? No, then it's not.
You think it's a meeting today or?
No, I keep getting.
Taking my camera hat back. So good. Taking. Oh.